Hello everybody, welcome. It is Erin Reed from Erin Reed Makes, and today we're going to play with these background dies. Now these dies that we're going to play with today are from Close to My Heart. These are their layered floral background dies. That's a mouthful. And I'm going to show you at least and more, but we're going to put together 5 cards specifically, but I'm going to show you some other options before we glue the whole thing down. So these dies come as 3 pieces. And here you can see, and you can use them interchangeably, like layered, or you can just use a single one, or you can do more than one. And my camera is funky, so we're gonna do that. There we go. It's a little better. So I'm gonna show you lots of fun little ways. And the theme for all of these are Christmas, but you could totally change out the colors. You can change out all of the stamps. We're just keeping it very simplistic, showing you how to show these off. So I've already die cut everything, and so you have the base piece, and I'm going to show you one of the layers. So we're going to play, and I'm going to do it in 3 different colors so you really get the idea for it. So this base piece right here, I did that one in green. This middle one right here, I did that one in red, and this top one is in white. I will say that, and I left this like this, the top one in white, just whatever little method you have to poking out all little extra pieces. This one I did fine. I mean, it cuts through beautifully, and I used my Maker's Movement crossover 2, which was wonderful. I actually ended up cutting 2 pieces of paper at a time. And so you just got to pop these out. I should have done more of them ahead of time. I was like, I'm going to show them how to do this. And then, yeah, of course. So just pop these all out. There, you can have them be in single colors, or you can have them do, multiple colors. You can do color tones, meaning you can kind of do hue changes. So I'll get to that more in a minute. These guys popped out no problem. I'll finish that one, like I said, in a minute. And every now and then you come across little guys. They just take a little bit. There's lots of little tools out there that can help you pop out. But, you know, a thumbtack or a little poker like I have works great to help you get lots of little bits and pieces. I've also found just kind of shaking it like this, and you can get lots of your pieces, because that one just popped out for me just there. Okay, so what are some ideas for this? So I just want to show you some of the differences. So you start with the piece that has the least amount of pieces cut out, and then you go to the next one up. So here you can see that. And then you go to the last one. So this is what it looks like. And I'm going to put this on a white background so you can really see. So this is what this one looks like. And I got a few more little pieces. So look how pretty that. Hello, Denise. So this is a red, white, and blue. And sorry, red, white, and blue. Sorry. Red, white, and green. So like Christmas tone colors. But just think of all, you could do red, white, and blue. That would be awesome. You can play with different tones of colors. This is going to bug me because we're going to use this one a few different times. So I have a few different layers here, and I'm going to show you. All right, that's a little better. So what if you wanted to change it up a little bit? Okay, so here I have the background, and I'm going to change my background color so you can really see the difference. We're going to use the same one that we have already. So just so you can see the difference that way. So here's one of the greens I used. So what if you used the white as your background, and then we have a mid-tone color. Right, so here we have that. And then here we're going to take a top layer. And so look, it totally changes the look of it. So if you change up the order of the colors, just by rearranging which colors on the top, the middle, the bottom, it really makes this really cool difference. And it just has this wow factor. So let me show you with the red on top. Let's change this out. Still white on the bottom. So here we have a green in the middle. And let's put a red on top. And so look at that, really pretty, right? So different, just depending on which piece you put on top. So that's just really super basic. Well, we're gonna take it a step further, okay? So you could totally make a card that looks like that. Awesome, but we're gonna show you other alternatives. Let me put all my pieces back together. Okay, that's all organized. There we go. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna show you is, you don't have to put all your layers together. So meaning you don't have to use every single layer. So for this card right here, all we're going to do is I'm going to use the bottom layer, and that goes down. And these are fit to fit an actual A2 size card. So they fit to be the perfect dimension for an A2 size card. I'm going to get these guys out of here so they don't become in the way. All right. So this is the first card, quote unquote, but I showed you can layer up. So the first card really is you can take any of the 3 layers, layer them up, and you have a beautiful background. Okay. So this one, we're just going to use 2 of the layers, but keep in mind, there really is kind of 4 layers when you think about it, because there is a background stamp, because the background paper of whatever card you are using has something going on. So we're going to put this card together, and I will say that I'm going to use my Mega Runner, and I'm going to get a sheet of paper as my glue paper. I'm just going to use just a piece of white paper. And the reason why I feel like this particular adhesive is best is because it's a dot runner. And that's important because the only place the adhesive is going to stick to is wherever there's actual paper. If there's a dot, there's actually a tiny, well, not on this one, but there will be on the next one. The adhesive will be, it will go through the dots, meaning that you don't have to worry about that you've pulled through. So now I've got adhesive kind of on this paper. It didn't go all the way through, so it skipped over the holes in the paper. So I'm going to put my first piece down, move my sticky paper off to the side. You could use glue too, but I think dot runners are just so much easier for card making for this particular scenario. So you put the first layer down, and then you put your second layer down. There we go. And you can leave a card just like that. You could leave it very simple. If you wanted to go to the next level, you totally could, and it just adds that little extra something. But you don't have to. You do not have to go to every single layer and put all the elements on there. You can leave it plain and simple. So for this card, we're going to keep it even simpler. And I have right here, I have already a sheet of paper in white. And I have a stamp that came from, and what does this one say? This one's Christmas is best with you. So I've just cut it nice and thin. And then we'll layer this on here. See how that worked pretty good. There we go. And you can tell I already have a whole bunch of other stamps up here because we're going to be coming back. I've done some stamping ahead of time, but I wanted to show you how simple it is. And then just with my scissors, I'm going to come in and give myself a little fishtail. I'm going to go to about here and go to about here. About same on both sides. And then just a little fishtail on both sides. If you wanted to double mat this and go to the extra level, you totally could. But this is just, you know, how to use it. Now, what sentiment you put on here, I happen to put a Christmas sentiment, but you could put just happy birthday. I mean, you can make the colors whatever you want for the background. So this is not just Christmas cards. I just need to make Christmas cards. And we're going to place this right there in the center. You could also put this at the bottom. It would look super cool on the bottom. You could flip your card this way and have it right in the middle. You could kind of place this. So this is just a very easy card. I'm going to place this right in the middle. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this at the bottom. I'm going to line this guy right here. Right there. You can really play with it. You can also pop this up. Sky is the limit to how you do this. I don't know. What am I thinking? No, I like the bottom here. That was my gut. No, I'm going to do middle. Sorry. I keep changing my mind. I'm going to use so there's a design on here. I'm going to use a design to my benefit. There we go. And then just line that up. And so it just makes a very simplistic card. So super, super simple, right? And this is using the 3 layers of cards. Well, let's take it to the next level. We're going to go monochrome, meaning all one color. White on white on white is beautiful. There is so much, and that can go for any season, you name it. So white on white on white, and this time I'm going to use the bottom layer and the top layer. I skipped the middle completely. You could add the middle, but you don't have to. So for here, we're going to place the bottom layer on first. I'm going to get my little sticky piece so I don't get my stuff all gross. Here we go. Place that on first. There we go. And then we're going to come in and do the next layer. Again, with the dot runner, it's only hitting the elements that are sticky. And I am going to double check because this is the one. See, there's so much. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's probably not. But there's, I mean, I'll show you. Can you hear it? All the adhesive is stuck on here. So I don't have to worry about the fact that it's on my card. So I'm just going to double check because I had I have one little guy, one little diehard that didn't want to come out. Get out of there. And I'm going to come in and place this on my card. And just look how pretty that looks with just white on white on white. Let me get my lights a little bit better for you guys so you can really see. I'm gonna bring this up. But look how pretty with that white on white on white. It is so gorgeous. Look how gorgeous. And so I could have added the next layer in there, but I don't have to. I can leave this the way it is. So then I can come in and I can take a little stamp like this and put it in the corner. I'm gonna wait on putting a sentiment on here, but it was gonna be something very similar to really just showcase this. You could also come in with a pen and you can do like gems in here, or you can leave it super simple. It's up to you. The other option is you can come in kind of like what we're going to do with some of these cards, and you could add an element to this and really keep it super white, or you could do this part in a color. Here is a version with circles, so you can see what the circles would look like on here, just to kind of give you an idea. So you can kind of play around with it. Hello, Vay. All right, so that is the white on white tone, and then you can play with what element. I will finish this off camera, but I wanted to show you what one singular color would look like. Okay, the next one is kind of a two-parter. So I went through and I actually did the same colors. I should have changed these out, but I didn't think of it. I was just thinking to show you guys how to do one color, but in different tones. And I think it looks best if you do the darkest color on the bottom, then you go a little bit lighter. Did I do that right? Yep, a little bit lighter, and then a little bit lighter. So here you can see my three colors. These bottom two are really close, but they are different colors, I will say. That's why I was like, is it not? But it is. And so when you layer them up, look how pretty that looks. Look how gorgeous. That is so cool. So for this first one, we are going to leave it straight onto the card. And then how you finish it, this is where it changes. So now you can think about all the different color variations you can do with your cards. You can have purely white on white on white. You can do 3 different colors. Think of the colors. I need to flip this paper over. It's starting to get kind of sticky and gross. Think about all the different colors that you can put together. So red, white, and blue, obviously red, white, and green. Think of the holidays that are out there. My paper is getting sticky. I'm going to fold it over. This is the joy of having paper that you don't, if it gets yucky, you can fold it. You don't have to worry about the paper getting too nasty. What's another color combination? Flag colors are beautiful too. You could definitely go with tones of flags, but then you can also go monochrome. So we have all different colors of the beautiful green here. Let's get this. I've already popped all the elements out of this guy here. And don't forget, as always, links are down below so you guys can see that. So look how fast these go together. The hard part is the die cutting. And I ran it through a manual die cutter, but you know, if you push the button, if you got a vagabond or something like that, look how pretty. And I love that little pop of white in there. So gorgeous. All right, let me put this one together and then I'll show you how to alter. And there's no real front and back. So there's no difference between what's considered, oops, I'm getting sticky on there. What's considered the front and the back. Gotta rub that off. So we're gonna fold over again. I'm gonna start running out of little fold over bits. There we go. So it doesn't matter what I consider to be the front of this card or of the paper, it's the same. The only difference would be is if you had, oh, little guy sticking out, pop out of there, pop, pop, pop. If you had a texture to your paper that you wanted to see, then you would need to be careful about what you consider to be the front and the back. So run all this through. There we go. And that is almost done. There we go. Look how pretty. Okay, so 2 cards, identical, right? So how to finish it. So that's part of that. You're like, oh, that's such a cool background, but how to actually complete it. So what I did is I took a sheet of white paper that I cut exactly to space or to size, and I cut out a star. So on this card, I'm going to place my star. Now, instead of a star, you could do a circle, you could do a heart, you can do an oval, you could do a rectangle, any shape you want. It does not matter. Pick a shape, pick a die, cut it out. Have fun with it. Then with the negative, this is where you get to use both pieces. You're going to pull off the element. Carefully, don't rip. No, it's turning to the back side. Oh, I ripped it. So that's going to be the back now. And this, because I cut it to be perfect size, is going to go over top. So you're going to see the peekaboo of the card. And I need to decide which is going to be, oh, I already did decide because that card opens that way. So it's going to go towards the top of the card like that. So you end up getting the reverse. So you get one going this way and you get one going this way. And somebody left a comment. Oh, hello, Danielle. Sorry, my cursor was over top and I couldn't see the name. So I'm going to use the background pieces to my benefit. And I do need to stamp this before I place that on. I already stamped my Rejoice, so that's done. And so meaning that because this has got this beautiful linear, I can line up, and I'm going to have it so that that little piece, the star goes right into the middle of that. So really use my elements, like my pieces there. And then I'm going to come in, and you can put, again, whatever stamp you want in the center. Hello, Carla. Ah, my sticky element here. So just keeping it simple with a star. It's a Rejoice. I was thinking after I got done with this and I had the star, doing different layers of yellow in the background of this card would look really pretty. But I had already just pulled all red, white, and green. I keep wanting to say red, white, and blue. So that is one. So placing an element on top, keeping it simple, the background element, keeping this white. You could do fun colors in here, but I thought just the double layer of the star would look really pretty. And then using the opposite. Now we need to stamp this first. So we're gonna pull out our stamp. And I have my Misty, and I have a stamp I've already picked out. So I'm just gonna line this guy up, make sure I don't have the twin side. And I found a Merry and Bright, nice, simple, beautiful stamp, just lining that up right in here in that bottom space. Oops, I still have that one I need to get rid of. I'm lining up all my extra stamps on top here. And then just stamp that part down, Merry and Bright. And I do for these, actually I did pretty good on that one. The Merry and Bright stamp, all of these little word stamps I'm using, everybody but Rejoice, but all these other word stamps all came from Maker's Movement. And I just kind of stole them from old, like I just started pulling all my Christmas stamp sets and was like, what's the best fit? And I wanted something that was nice and small, that fits, kind of simplistic, not overly busy, got the point across. So I mean, you can mix and match all of your stuff. So look at that, just very, very clean and simple, but you really have this cool background to the card. So it really kind of amps up the look of the card in a way by having that different element. Now I've saved what I think is my fun one. I mean, they're all fun. So, but that, I think that's so pretty. Look at that. And you could obviously turn the card to be sideways if you had that cut out image in a different location. But look how cool that is. Love that. It's just that kind of cool inside. All right, so there's one more. Oh, and then I decided, sorry, this was another one. I wanted to add a frame just to really frame this whole card. So you could leave it white or you could frame it. I think the frames look just a little bit better. It kind of completes the whole card a little bit. So we're going to add, with my sticky paper, we're going to add the frame. And this is a nesting set. Has a stitched outline. Oh no, I hit the sticky on it. Okay, well, you're going to pretend that boo-boo did not just happen. I stuck it right on top of where I had adhesive, and so it's stuck. So I got to be really careful about where I'm placing this now because this whole paper is like super sticky. It's doing its job. It's preventing my background from getting all nasty, my back table, but got to be careful not to place. There we go. It's in a safe spot right there. Here, and then put the frame on here. I think it just finishes the look. And I went with, there's some little extra dots from when I die cut out. I went with black because it has the black in the stamp, and I thought it just kind of tied it all together. Instead of trying to pull in more green, I thought the black just kind of finished it. So there we go. Look how pretty that is. I think that's just stunning. That's me. Okay, so far we've got monochrome, add an element. We've got a peekaboo where you can add a layer on top. See a little peekaboo. We've got just using 2 elements of different colors. Obviously, you can do all 3. Here you have a monochrome with an element on top. And now we have our last one that we're going to play with today. And obviously, for any of these cards, so think about this. You could add a 3rd layer to this. Let me turn this sideways. You could add a 3rd layer. The monochrome, you could obviously do like a version of this, but this is, again, just 2 layers. You could have all this be white and put a color on top. So you can really have fun. You could have this be all monochrome, like the version of this, or this could be the red, green, and white. Now, when you die cut these little guys, there's a lot of little extra bits that pop out when you're playing with it. So why not use them? So when I cut out the top layer of this guy, I saved all the little bits and I'm pairing them with the red one. So you can do a reverse and adding them back in. So I'm going to go ahead and stick all this down. Just like this. And then this is totally trash now because it is like beyond sticky. All right, and then place my first element. So another version is you can just do the top layer. Look how pretty that is all by itself. You don't need to have all 3 layers. You can just use each die. I don't think this one, the very, very bottom one, would look as good all by itself. But this one and this one all by themselves, I think really do look nice because it just adds this kind of nice background. So this is a great way to use as a background just on its own. No reason not to, especially this one because it has all the details. So you see that pop of the background color. You don't have to make it white. You can make it whatever color you want to. That is the fun part. And so now, and for this one, I am going to use my glue, which I just had. There it is. Sorry, I thought I put it away going, I don't need that. All right, so now we have all these pretty elements. Now I need to think these 3 pieces are going to be my title. I just like the look of them all layered together. And it's going to go right here in the center. So there's no need for me to place pieces of any of this if I'm not going to see it, right? So I have to kind of play around with where am I going to put stuff? Now, I didn't keep any of the circles. I left the circles alone, but you could just do the circles. I decided to keep the leaves because I thought those were pretty because, you know, green leaves look like leaves, but it's actually flowers, but petals, whatever. You get the idea. So I need a little bit. I think I'm going to drop it down to be there. So I'm seeing this one, and then definitely the top. So I'm going to do, just because there's a hint of it, a little dab of glue. So we're going to do each of those. I did not grab, so just the pointer, I didn't grab this little guy or this little guy. I left that alone. So all you're going to do is you take your leaves or your petals or whatever it is, and you just pop them back in. It's just a reverse. Not a new concept, but it's just another way. If you happen to have a background set of dies like this, how else can you change that? Hello, Faye. A lot of people have gotten on. Hello, hello. All right, and then I've got this guy right here. This one's fun. It goes right there. And then I've got this one there. So now I can see, I can definitely place this down. And so if I see a hint of that, totally cool. I could also get out gems and put the gems in there, but you get the idea. All right, so now I definitely need to come down here and place a little bit of glue. Here, and here. And so if you're cutting out a whole bunch of these, this could be really fun, that you could have a whole bunch of different variations for colors. So we're still getting our 3 colors. We're still getting our 3 what I call Christmas colors, but now we're changing it up because we're just showing them in a different way. All right, I have a better one. Here it is. So these little guys, truly I have green paper, but my paper is textured. So there is what I would call the wrong side. And so I can take this little guy and I can flip it. But I'm choosing not to because, again, it's got a texture to it. So I'm just leaving that. And I know definitely I need to do 1, 2, 3, the bottom 3. So I'm just doing the line down the middle, giving it a nice kind of a linear look to it, but not putting in the ones that you're never going to see because we're putting the sentiment in the center there. So the whole point of all these cards is I really wanted to let those background papers shine. Look how pretty that looks, just like how it's all inlaid into itself. So pretty. Illinois, wow. I wonder where everybody's from. I know some of you guys are from international. I see an Illinois in the house. Okay, and then today's my die. So I'm gonna place my circle. Here's my first one. I wanna see a little bit, so right about there. I decided to go for 3 just because I thought it looked really cool. I went with 2 and I was like, that looks pretty, but I was like, what about 3? And so you can really play along with it. So for this one, I did 2 layers. This one is a stitched nesting circle. So this is also a great way to use up some of your nesting stuff. You could pop these up if you want. But the whole point of all of these cards is truly to let the background paper shine, really make them pop and do their thing. So these are the 3 that are 100%. Well, this one's done too. So, and then I need to do a sentiment for this one, which is not done yet, but you get the idea, because you can see I could put a sentiment of anything like this. I could die cut this out in a color so that sentiment really does pop. I could do like a green star or a red star, then with a white piece or a circle or whatever I want to, and I can change it in any direction. So these background dies are really fun. So this is a set that comes, these ones are from Close to My Heart. I know there's a ton of other really fun ones out there. These ones are perfectly made to fit on an A2 size card for a card base. So they are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and they each layer on there super beautifully. And so I just played around with Christmas, but you can have loads of fun with it. And I love how you can do like one color, all white, playing with the colors, making a peekaboo, which you could also have a sentiment going across the middle of this versus stamping at the bottom. You could do a die cut of something in black and it could be like Merry Christmas or whatever, but I didn't have any good die cut Christmassy, like, I don't know, joy or whatever, like, but that would fit. But thanks, I was debating doing like, oh, I should do thank you cards. I'm like, I need Christmas cards for my Christmas card swap. I'm in desperate need because I have, I think, over almost 54 people in the Christmas card swap now. So I'm like, I need to make some cards because I try to give at least one of my cards to every person in the swap. So I got to start making some more because I'm running. I need to. So here's 5. Yay. 45 more to go. Woohoo. I have some older ones I can pass out too, but we're all doing A2 size cards. So I thought this is perfect. I'll make some Christmas cards. Hello, Ashley. Hello, hello. All right. So thank you guys so much. Links are down below. I can hear the puppy upstairs starting to get antsy. My son has been keeping him. Oh, he needed to get away. I don't know if you guys heard that, the thumping down the stairs. So thank you guys so much. Again, links are down below. Please give this video a thumbs up, a heart if you are on Facebook. Follow my channel if you are not either on Facebook or on Instagram or Twitter if you happen to be watching me there today. And I hope to see you guys soon and have a wonderful, amazing day. Get out there, just create something, whatever it is, be creative. Get that stress off of you because we're all a little stressed out these days, and be safe. Bye, everybody.